A silent but significant event took place as the sun sank low over the Kentucky hills, illuminating the clouds with pink and gold tones. Hand in hand with Brian Levorne, the guy who had quietly become her anchor without cameras or expectations, Amy Slaton stood barefoot on freshly cut grass in a remote backyard just outside of Dixon, her ivory gown billowing around her ankles. When it occurred, there were no yelling headlines, no paparazzi, no production personnel from TLC, only a simple arrangement of folding chairs, mason jars filled with wildflowers, and the sound of children's laughing drifting through the air. Hey everybody, welcome to another new 1,000 Pounds Sisters exclusive update. Please do subscribe. I explain everything, never miss this video. Now noticeably healthier, Tammy stood next to her sister, silent tears streaming down her cheeks. With each syllable Amy spoke, the burden they both previously bore, historically, emotionally, and physically, seemed to lessen. Peace is what I've waited for. I've been waiting for goodwill. I go with it today. It wasn't the extravagant pomp of a celebrity wedding when Amy and Brian sealed their vows with a kiss. There was less noise, deeper, genuine. Two hearts that had discovered one another when neither was looking whispered a promise. Michael Halterman sat by himself in a dim apartment far away, surrounded by mementos of the past. Uncontrollably buzzing with photographs, tags, and texts, his phone was a lit fuse. He didn't have to crack them open. It was sufficient that he had seen the first post. Amy, dressed in a dress. Amy, you're radiant. Amy got married. Not to him. He tried to ignore the increasing pain in his chest as he blinked at the computer and scrolled past congrats and fan comments. It wasn't really jealousy that caused the sorrow. It was regret, something more caustic. Years, kids, arguments, and memories had all been exchanged between them. However, Michael ceased providing her with emotional support at some point. Now another person did. Fans weren't expecting Brian Levorne. He wasn't ostentatious or well-known, but he was a former maintenance tech at a nearby school. He wasn't trying to get attention, but Amy needed him more than anything else. Brian leaned in where Michael pulled away. He scooped up the boys when she was too exhausted, held her hand during panic attacks, and, most importantly, never made her feel like she was too much. He stayed even though he had witnessed her on her bad days, her stressed out days, and her exhausted days. One evening, he assured her, "You're not broken. All you're weary of is getting by. Together, let's create a life free of such obligations." Because of this, Amy accepted his proposal before he could finish as he got down on one knee next to her boys in their living room. Just the two of them, no cameras. Now Tammy Slaton was taller, stronger, and more stable. Despite all of her development, she was nevertheless upset in unexpected ways when she watched her sister go down the aisle. She recalled how Amy had been her pillar of support in her lowest moments, taking care of her when she was scarcely able to move, standing up for her when others had given up, and providing for her when no one else dared. She was now witnessing Amy receive the kind of love she had thought was reserved for others, the kind that listens and picks you every day. Tammy sobbed publicly as Amy and Brian exchanged vows, not out of sorrow, but out of respectful incredulity. The type you get when you see someone scuttle their way into the sun after escaping a storm. Tammy later took the stage in front of the small group during the toast. When she had nothing left, this woman standing here sacrificed bits of herself for me. I'm happy she was able to return those pieces to someone at last. The information wasn't kept a secret for long. Within hours, a cousin's innocently uploaded wedding photo went viral on the internet. Amy herself then attested to it. The fandom for the 1,000 Pound Sisters was ecstatic within minutes. She is worthy of this joy. We saw how much suffering she carried. I never imagined crying at a wedding to which I was not even invited. Brian appears to be the real thing. Forever Amy. Screenshots of Amy grinning on her wedding day were placed next to old videos of her sobbing over Michael. An arc of redemption. A return. A fresh chapter. Despite his best efforts, Michael was unable to avoid the public's response. A grainy picture of him leaving a gas station late at night, head down, jaw clenched, was released by a tabloid. According to others close to him, his emotional state was deteriorating. One source said he didn't think Amy would really marry someone else. He always thought she would change her mind. According to friends, he made several attempts to get in touch during the weeks before the wedding, to test the waters, not to win her back completely. He knew now. It was the last one. And for some reason, that broke him much more than the divorce. Amy sent a picture the week following the wedding that perfectly captured the moment. Arms encircling one another, she and Brian sat on a rickety old porch swing while Gage slept in her lap. "Home isn't a place," she captioned the photo. "It's an emotion. I now own this." The nuptials were over. There were puddles of wax where the candles had burned. All of the visitors had left, and the only sound left by the hilarity was the Kentucky sunset. With a cup of lukewarm coffee in her hands, Tammy Slayton stood by herself on the porch, her bare feet chilly on the wood. Through the glass, she could see Amy and Brian snuggled close on the couch while the children slept in between them. Cartoon sounds buzzed softly in the background. Amy was beaming, gleaming in a way that was entirely related to her feeling loved at last and had nothing to do with the lighting. Tammy had an odd mixture of happiness and pain, a woman's loneliness and a sister's pride colliding. She accessed a text thread that she hadn't looked at in months after taking out her phone. She previously referred to the man as her boyfriend. He hadn't responded to the last communication. To no one, she said, "Amy found her peace. When will it be my turn?" Then she remembered how long Amy had been traveling to get here. How often did her sister cry at night? How frequently she put Tammy's needs ahead of her own in order to keep her breathing and surviving. Speaking of her sister, she whispered into the night, "You earned this. And I will also earn mine." Online investigators got to work while Amy's admirers were still having a good time celebrating. This Brian Levorne was who? What was his tale? Why had he never been videotaped by TLC? A few of his old Facebook posts came to light, including pictures of him with his young son, his ex-wife, a little home, and a barbecue in a church parking lot. Brian wasn't well known. He wasn't ostentatious. His captivating quality came from his normalcy. Amy had always dated men who wanted to be on TV or who needed to be saved. However, Brian? None of it was of interest to Brian. He had skipped all of the filming. TLC had inquired. He had graciously refused. He once said to Amy, "This isn't about being on a show. Being in your life is what matters, and there's more." Following her much-anticipated skin removal procedure, Tammy Slayton, star of 1000 LB Sisters, flaunted her new physique in a dance video. Following her 2020 debut, she and her sister Amy Slayton became well known. Since then, Tammy has shed more than 500 pounds over the past 5 years, and her highs and lows have been chronicled. She weighed 238 pounds during 1000 LB Sisters Season 7 and 725 pounds at her heaviest. In January 2025, Tammy underwent a dangerous surgery to remove excess skin, which is largely responsible for her recent weight loss. In an interview with the Creative Chaos podcast, Tammy posted a reel of herself holding her camera in selfie mode. The Black Eyed Peas song Rock That Body from their 2009 album, The End, was the song she lip-synced to. The podcast hosts Logan and Hunter Ezell danced in the background while Tammy moved to the sounds of BEP. It was revealed in the caption that Tammy will be a guest on the show. Tuesday, it said, Ezell Hunter, Tammy Slaton the Queen. See you there, urging viewers to pay attention. After years of battling for approval, Tammy finally had her weight loss operation during the recently finished 1000 LB Sisters Season 7. She first needed to stop smoking and drop a substantial amount of weight in order to be eligible for the treatment. Tammy learned the value of putting her health and fitness first after experiencing a severe health scare. Tammy knew there was no going back after losing almost 500 pounds. She underwent a life-altering change in attitude and resolve in addition to a physical metamorphosis. Tammy has been committed to changing her lifestyle and enhancing her health. Tammy, who used to almost ever leave her house, is now actively visiting the public, interacting with admirers, and encouraging others to lead better lives. Her recent podcast appearance, in which she embraces fashionable attire and makes new friends, demonstrates how secure she feels in her new physique. There is no denying Tammy's contentment. Her joyful energy is evident in all of her recent stuff, and she radiates in every picture and video, beaming from ear to ear. Every time Tammy posts a snapshot of her real life online, her followers from all around the world enjoy it, demonstrating how contagious her pleasure is. She is now a social media favorite and the undisputed queen of 1000 LB Sisters. Many people are curious to see what she will do next, because there are rumors that the show may be canceled. In particular, fans are eager to see more of Tammy and Andrea Dalton's recent romance. Along with a new body and love, her life transformation has opened up the possibility of intriguing new professional opportunities. After undergoing skin removal surgery, Tammy Slaton from 1000 LB Sisters appears tall and fit in her most recent shot. The Season 7 finale of 1000 LB Sisters included a mention of her operation. From weighing 725 pounds at her heaviest to now losing over 500 pounds, the reality TV personality has made significant progress. Tammy had 15 pounds of extra skin removed from her arms, lower abdomen, and chin during an 8-hour treatment. After meeting lover Andrea Dalton, she has undergone a dramatic metamorphosis and is now enjoying success in her romantic life. After meeting Tammy and the other members of the 1000 LB Sisters ensemble at an event, a fan named at Chaotic Carrie recently tagged her in a picture. The fan posed with Amanda Halterman, Amy, and Tammy. The words "Cancer doesn't get the final say" were printed on a blue t-shirt that Tammy was wearing. She accessorized it with a leather belt and gray washed jeans. Tammy accessorized the ensemble with her distinctive glasses, a big watch, and many bracelets. She wore her hair down. According to reports, Tammy is 5 feet 9 inches. Her posture and stature have been significantly impacted by her substantial weight loss. She weighed 725 pounds at her heaviest, and because of her posture and weight distribution, she frequently looked shorter. Tammy is now able to stand higher and more erect due to her significant weight loss, increased strength, and increased mobility. Her posture has improved as a result of this change, giving the impression that she is closer to her true height. Her experience demonstrates how losing weight may have a positive effect on one's looks and sense of self. Tammy had previously suffered from bow-leggedness, which was probably made worse by the tremendous strain her weight was putting on her joints. Her slumped stance and outward curving legs gave the impression that she was shorter than she actually was. Additionally, Tammy had loose skin folds around her lower torso after losing weight, which made walking challenging. Her mobility has increased as a result of losing weight and extra skin. The full-length picture of her with the fan demonstrates it, and the slim jeans also highlight the amount of flesh and weight she has shed from her legs. After undergoing weight loss and skin removal surgery, Tammy appears more self-assured than before. Fans of the 1000 LB Sisters have observed significant shifts in her demeanor. She even grins more in pictures, walks more fluidly, and stands taller. She used to have trouble moving and feeling comfortable because of her weight and excess skin. She appears happier and more confident now. She demonstrates her progress by dressing in form-fitting clothing, such as skinny jeans. Although Tammy's path hasn't been straightforward, it is really encouraging to witness her increasing self-assurance. Even though Season 7 of 1000 LB Sisters is over, Chris Combs is still making strides in his fitness endeavor. He weighed more than 450 pounds when he made his debut on the well-liked reality TV program in its second season. Like his sisters, Amy and Tammy Slaton, he suffered from severe obesity. Chris struggled with movement and required daily insulin injections to stay healthy. He was committed to getting healthy and losing weight in spite of these obstacles. He wanted to be more physically active and lead a more satisfying life. Chris was worried about his health because his father, who died in his 40s, weighed more than 400 pounds. Chris was anxious to reach his fitness objectives since he was afraid of suffering the same tragedy. Chris eventually had gastric sleeve surgery in Season 3 of 1000 LB Sisters, and he shed about 150 pounds in a year. He was able to lead an active lifestyle in addition to regaining his mobility. Chris had stabilized at 250 pounds by Season 7 of 1000 LB Sisters, and he was even able to run a 5K marathon. In 1000 LB Sisters Season 7, Chris's physical change wasn't the main focus. In past seasons, the program had chronicled his accomplishments and updated viewers on his fitness development. However, Chris didn't have as much screen time to provide any noteworthy updates on his fitness program because the most recent season was more focused on Tammy's skin removal procedure. Some claim that Chris' continuous weight loss quest was not given enough attention by the producers and that he should have received more attention in Season 7 of 1000 lb Sisters. Chris was dropped from 1000 lb Sisters Season 7 for a number of reasons, but Tammy's skin removal procedure being the primary one. Since Tammy has changed so much in previous years, the most recent season has focused on her skin removal treatment. Tammy's previous characterization as a villain was abandoned when the filmmakers gave her a special edit. On the other hand, they probably decided to make Amy a villain in order to maintain narrative equilibrium. Because their weight loss journeys lack dramatic moments, Chris and other cast members probably got less screen time. There have been false rumors that Chris and Brittany had a new baby a few months ago. Fans previously watched Brittany, Chris' wife, discuss her views on starting a family. She stated that she wanted a child but was unable to conceive because of reproductive difficulties. Brittany also admitted that the primary causes of her infertility were probably her age and weight. She told Chris she wanted to have bariatric surgery like everyone else in the family so she could be healthy and have a child. Brittany may have to postpone her intentions to start a baby in order to undergo bariatric surgery. It can take her a long time to recover from the surgery and become pregnant. Another consideration is her old maternal age. The status of Chris and Brittany's pregnancy is unknown at this time. Hopefully, 1000 lb Sisters will chronicle their adventure and offer updates in upcoming seasons. Although Chris and his spouse have not yet succeeded in becoming parents, they seem to have been consistent in meeting their health goals. The cast of 1000 lb Sisters went to a local meet and greet in June 2025. Online videos of their most recent public appearances revealed their current looks. One video, shared by a Kakanisevans, showed Chris wearing a red t-shirt and a black cap while he signed an autograph. He had a brilliant shine on his face that showed he was genuinely delighted, and he appeared thinner and more toned than before. Brittany, Chris' wife, was also featured in the video. She seemed to have changed since her final appearance in Season 7. Brittany appeared young and self-assured in addition to being slender. She looked to be in her early 30s, as if she had aged backwards. On social media, the TikTok user shared videos of Brittany and her family, and her weight loss metamorphosis was praised by many admirers. Despite not updating his Instagram account on a daily basis, Chris maintains a high level of activity on Cameo, demonstrating his continued popularity among his followers. He has surpassed other reality TV personalities like Big Ed Brown and Captain Jason Chambers to be listed among the top 50 most popular Cameo creators worldwide. Chris continues to maintain an exceptional Cameo profile rating of 4.89 out of 5. He is renowned for providing his admirers with value, charging $50 for each personalized letter. He makes cameos for a variety of events, including birthdays, when he gives fans advice and cracks jokes. Chris has more than 162,000 Instagram followers, demonstrating his popularity there as well. On the platforms, he regularly posts updates and gets hundreds of likes. Chris updates his fans on his impending performances via Instagram. Chris expressed his excitement about going to Vet City Con at the National Corvette Museum in March 2025. In addition, Chris honored his late mother's dog, who had died a few months earlier. When he urged supporters to pray for his family, more than 22,000 fans liked his message. Despite the conclusion of Season 7, 1000 lb Sisters followers still adore Chris.